Whiskey friends, far and wide, we are live. How's it going, everybody? It is Tasty Tuesday Happy Hour. I am Eric.
Are live.
Whoa. I am Eric, your humble malt muser. Set to kick off yet another week. Happy March. 3 hours of whiskey talk coming at you tonight. So should be a lot of fun. I will set up the show, let you know what's coming up with Telex the Whiskey Tech in a few minutes. But first, I am sipping on a little Evan Williams single barrel to get the palate started for tonight. And let me catch up with the early birds as we always do to kick off the show. Hop in the chat, y'all. Let me know what you guys are sipping on tonight. We already got 5 people in, which is awesome. Great to see everybody. As always, I enjoy each and every Tuesday with you all. So let's get into some whiskey. First in the door is Teddy KGB. It'll be 2 a.m. in France, so I'll have to watch the replay when I wake up. Can't wait. Have a great show. Hope you enjoy the wonderful gem. Oh, yeah. Teddy, awesome. Teddy had actually messaged me a while back about this whiskey, and was eager to see my thoughts on it as I uncork it tonight. I'll get into that in just a sec. Great to have you in the house, Teddy. Well, tomorrow morning. Tamika Ivy in Chicago. What's up, Tamika? How are you? Great to have you. French, right on her tail in Duluth. What's good in Duluth? Hope you're doing well. You got some cheap winter warmer. Johnny Walker Black. A classic. I have not had one of those in a real long time, but hope it's doing you justice tonight, French. Great to have you. Folks saying hi. Oh. Our friend from Russia, Sergey, says, I am error. I'm not sure what to make of that. How you doing, Sergey? Great to have you. Kapil, Delhi, India. Raise a glass to you. Good morning to you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. Daniel, my friend, how are you in Texas? Texas Independence Day. Oh, okay. Little bourbon from Still Austin. Just grabbed a Benriach 10 today. Oh, yeah. Benriach 10. Great freaking pour. Love it. I've been feeling the Benriachs of late, as you all know. So I'm going to be eager to hear what you think about that one, Daniel. Mr. French says, hey, Kapil and Daniel. ... and Sergey. Good deal. Small crew gathering. Good deal. Andrew Page just got the Benriach 17 ready in the glass. Drinking a Deanston 9 Bordeaux red wine cask matured right now. I got a bottle of this on sale for $45. Wow. That is a huge deal. I love that whiskey. That was my number 5 in my top 5 last year. Cask strength. It is freaking delicious. I enjoy quite a lot of Deanston. Top Shelf Whiskey. What's everyone drinking tonight? Is this Mike or Dustin? I think he's Top Shelf Dustin, so this is probably Mike. How you doing, man? I'm just going out on a limb to guess. Starting a little Evan Williams single barrel. Something nice and pleasing. Great to have you, man. Thanks for stopping through. Cohen's in the house. What's up in SoCal, buddy? Great to have you. Yeah, incredible find indeed. Hey, there's my boy Tony up the road in King of Prussia. Hello to you, sir. How are you, my friend? Great to have you, buddy. Good deal. Folks coming in. Top Shelf's drinking on Talisker 25. Ooh, from 2006. I'm sure that's a total winner. Yeah, and if folks aren't subscribed yet, take a second, give a sub over to Top Shelf Whiskey. That is Mike, formerly Mike's Whiskey Reviews. He changed the name over to Top Shelf Whiskey. He and DH Silv, Dustin have been doing some reviews together, some higher end stuff. Worth checking out for sure. Give them a sub. Drinking my usual, the blueberry smoothie. Okay, starting off a little healthy with it, bro. Appreciate you, man. Bardstown, Fit for Pivot. Oh, okay. I have been seeing those Bardstown bourbons coming out. I have not had any of them. I saw the Fusion recently. Like Fusion Batch 2, something like that. Seems like a lot of folks are high on their stuff, but I don't know quite a lot about it. Definitely love to hear about it, Tony, and you let me know if any of those are worth picking up. It is Mike. Awesome. All right, y'all. We got 12 folks in. Let's get after it. All right. I got a little uncorking coming up for happy hour this week. As you probably saw, I'm going to be checking out a whiskey that I'm not sure how many folks have had. And do let me know if you have had this. This is the Benriach Septendecim. It is a peated single malt. Comes out of Benriach, 46% non-chill natural, Speyside. I have never had this before, but I will tell you why I picked it up when we get into this. I'm actually going to get this in the glass right now. Here's the bottle. So we can let this get a little bit of rest and oxygen before we dive into it. So we'll be checking this out tonight. Really excited for this one. And then Tuesday Malt and Telex show coming up at 9. As always, I will drop the link in the chat right around 9 Eastern time. Tip folks off on when we're going to be starting. We are doing some more peated smoky whiskey. So this is going to be kind of a peated night of sorts. Telex and I in the first hour tonight are going to be checking out a absolute classic whiskey in the Lagavulin 16. And then in hour number 2, we're going to be checking out something really special. It is a Festival Festival release, Lagavulin, 18 years old. So we got 2 smoky scotches to complement the smoky whiskey that I'm going to be pouring here or sipping on here in just a second. So hope you all can stick around. If you got some peated whiskeys, it's been a good night to grab them, especially if you have any of those Lagavulins or this Benriach. So, good deal, good deal. All right, let me get into this. So, Benriach Distillery, not sure how many folks have any familiarity with this one. They are a Speyside distillery. They are one of 2 Speyside distilleries that still do floor malting. So they do all their own malting, barley, the maltings actually at the distillery. There is one other Speyside distillery that does that. Brownie points for anybody who wants to know what that is and mention it in the chat. But not very many distilleries do this anymore. This one in particular, the reason I picked this up mostly was it was a 17-year-old malt for literally like $125, which obviously still a lot of money for a whiskey, but you just don't see whiskeys of this age at a price like that anymore. So it seemed like super cheap. So I don't know if that's going to be a good or a bad thing. It is aged in ex-bourbon and ex-Oloroso hogsheads. And again, they seem to have a craft presentation on this one. I do believe Benriach is owned by the same company that owns Glendronach. This is non-chill filtered natural color. And yeah, 17 years old. Kind of I don't know what y'all think about the presentation of this. This looks like they have changed their presentation relatively recently. Kind of did a little bit of a rebrand. And Andrew Page got it right. Yeah. Balvenie is the other Speyside distillery that does do their own floor maltings. And yeah, that basically just means that they actually have somebody on site by hand turning over the barley as it is going through the process of becoming malt. So there are a couple other distilleries that still do this. Springbank, Highland Park, Lefroy, I think Kilchoman and Bowmore. There might be more, but I'm not quite sure. There's not very many. I might have missed one. Highland Park, Lefroy, Bowmore, yeah. Benriach. I wonder if Benriach does that. I'm not even really sure. In any event, I can already smell the peat off of this. Let me just catch up on the chat here really quick before we jump into this. Yeah, we got Top Shelf Mike in the house. Cohen. Ooh, damn, $89. Interesting. That's a good price. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Jason Coates. How are you? Beth Higgins. Great to see you, Beth. How's everything going? Great to have you in the house as always. Our other friend over in Delhi, India, Maher. What's good, buddy? Good morning to you. 2 wheels down. Hey, that's Swami. How you doing, Swami? Is this the official new channel name? formerly malted in Montreal. I believe now, is it now just 2 wheels down, or is this like a separate thing? Which Lagavulin 18, 2013 or 2016 or 2018? I'm going to guess it's 2018, but I don't quite know. I'll chat with Telex a little bit about that when we dive into it. I'm not entirely sure. Juan beaming the signal from the Hawaiian Islands. What's up, buddy? Good to have you in the house, my friend. As always, recently got the new Benriach Smoky 10 and the non-peated 12. Both are interesting. 10 is 3 cask matured bourbon rum virgin oak. Really? I mean, Benriach is one of these distilleries that's got a bit of creativity when it comes to their maturations. I know that. I have not explored a lot of Benriach, to be totally honest with you. So this is going to be a really interesting one. I know they have another peated one that's like 10 years old called Curiositas, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure. All right. Yeah, Andrew Page was right. Balvenie does do the floor maltings. Yep. They and Benriach are the only ones in Speyside, as far as I know, that do it. Swami. All right. Hey, there's our good friend now, Telex. Hey, while you're here, we got a question about the upcoming show tonight. Do you know the year of that Lagavulin 18 that we're going to be tasting in the second hour tonight? Paul John in the glass for Jason Coates. Man, excellent. As y'all know, I have been huge on the Paul John whiskeys as well, man. Freaking delicious stuff. Total Wine and Claymont. It's the Bardstown Discoveries Infusions kind of regularly. They go quick. Oh, cool. Oh, right on. Okay, that's good. Tony's right up the road from me. We can kind of get to some of the same spots. Looking for whiskey when we're out hunting. His Holiness Swami is gracing us with his holy presence. Yeah, man. It's not every day you got Swami in the house. 2018. Okay, so yeah, it's a 2018 18-year-old Fessio release. That's going to be the hour number 2 tonight on the Telex and Malt Show. As always, link will be in the chat right around 9 o'clock. You can join us to sip on some Lafroigs. But first, I want to get into this. No, not that glass. So this is the color coming in on this Septendecim 17-year-old. It is ex-bourbon, ex-Oloroso. And that is a natural color. It looks pretty damn nice. Let me know in the chat, though. Anybody had this one before? I know Andrew Page said that he's got some. Wow. So it's not, one thing I will mention for folks who've like maybe only had peated stuff from Islay, there are some distilleries that'll put out some peated stuff periodically. They do seasonal malting at Benriach, just like they do at Balvenie. And the Balvenie does a thing called the Week of Peat or Peat Week, or I don't know, man. They're always changing the name of it. This is, I think, one of the higher aged of the peated line on this. Again, really great price. The nose on this is really nice. It is. It's not heavily peated, but you definitely got the smoke. You can tell there's some peat in it, but it's a lot of like ripe fruit, plums, raisin, orange, honey, even some slightly tropical fruits on the nose. Really sweet. It smells like it's got a lot of depth. Honestly, just smells delicious. It smells very relaxed. This is not an aggressive whiskey at all. Yeah, there's a nice little spice. Little cinnamon. Yeah, this is good. I like the nose quite a bit on this. It's almost like stewed fruit, kind of like a rich, I don't know. It almost smells like kind of like it's got a heavy like red wine influence or something like that, which makes sense. Almonds. So there's a nuttiness, there's a sweet fruit, a little bit of that smoky peat. All right, let's give it a taste. Let's kick this off, man. Salancha, happy tasty Tuesday, y'all. Really rich, fruity. Apples. It arrives just like a lot of fruit. More than I even expected. You do get some of that dried fruit too, which is probably coming off that sherry. Definitely coming off the sherry, which is nice. I mean, you kind of expect it with a 17-year-old. You're starting to get the dry fruit notes. I'm going to have to do another taste here quick. Wow, this is different. I'm trying to think of a whiskey I can compare this to. It's not as smoky as like a Lagavulin. It's got that same kind of texture and body though. It's really rich. It's really heavy. It's got a bit of this kind of seaweed maritime thing, but it's mostly just dark stewed fruits. You're talking about plum, raisins, apricot, a whole bunch of that going on. And on the edges, it's got this really nice kind of like vanilla salted caramel. Goes into kind of a medium long finish. Again, fruit, apricots, dried, more of the dried fruit notes on the back. It's not very spicy. This is very much a like creamy, heavy whiskey that's just got some peat smoke in it, kind of just livening things up a bit. I mean, this would be a good pour without the peat for sure, but I think it adds an extra element to it. Now, this is an interesting one. Let me see what else it has to say on here. Yeah, not much. Some just background on the distillery and everything like that. Let's take a look at this bottle again. It looks kind of like a label from maybe the early 2000s. I know that they've changed it for some. I don't know if all of their stuff got a makeover, but this one definitely looks like it's one of the older ones. For those keeping score at home, it does actually have a scan date on it. This was bottled in 2016. Man, it's almost kind of like an orange marmalade thing going on. I'm going to put a bit of water on this actually and just see what it does. 46%. So I mean, it's bottled at the, what would Ralphie call it? The craft malt mark. What is integrity malt mark? It's got the age statement. It's the non-chill. It's natural. It's at 46. Oh wow! So the water really opens this up. Damn. Getting a lot more kind of sandalwood and cinnamon. There's a nice kind of creamy vanilla. The bourbon notes seem to come out a lot more with water. Bit more balanced between the bourbon, the kind of traditional bourbon notes and the traditional sherry notes. Bit more oak spice too. Man, this changes a lot with water. It's even darker and richer still. The palate almost completely changes. You still have the fruit notes, but it is much more assertive with the bourbon notes now. I'm getting like milk chocolate, dark chocolate. There's a little bit of coffee. There's a little bit of white chocolate. Brown sugar. Wow. You'd almost be hard pressed to know that this is the same dram. That's incredible. I mean, this is just one of those reasons why a little bit of water really just does it justice, man. God, at the end of this, you're getting kind of like almost like smoked fish, smoked meat kind of thing. More on the fish side. A little bit of cayenne, a little bit of like smoked paprika thing going on. That kind of sweet smokiness. Wow. Boy, 3 drops of water on this, and it went from being like a very, very rich, heavy, sweet sherry, kind of more sherry fruit forward, to being like a much more bourbon assertive in terms of the palate. I wonder if you put these side by side, some with water and some without, you would notice the difference. I think you would think they were 2 different whiskeys. Man, that's interesting. I like it. This is one that's going to be a lot of fun to explore. I can tell already. There's a lot happening in here. And at this price, it's killer price. I don't know. If you can think of any whiskey at a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, even 15-year-old for sometimes, age statement, peated like this at $120. I mean, I don't think any of them. I mean, the only thing close I can think of, I mean, Springbank 15, but that's probably the same level of peat you get on this. It's like a Springbank 15, but that's like $150 these days. This is an interesting one. Wow. I'm getting more of this. God, the water, man, this toffee. This is fantastic. It's like just the right amount of peat and smoke. You get some of the effervescence on your palate from the peat, and then you get just this nice kind of smoke in the background, which is almost, it's not quite like a charcoal. It's more like kind of like a campfire. Man, there's even, or like burnt cedar even. Yeah, this is great. Wow. I'm impressed. I did not expect it to be quite this interesting. I mean, this is, it doesn't have the depth and kind of complexity of like a Lafroig 18, but this is really got the marriage of the peated barley and these casks and the level of peat. I don't know what the ppms are. It's really, really nice. It's more of an accent on the whiskey. It's not dominating it. And to be honest, even for someone who's like a peat head like me, you know, sometimes you want to tone it down a notch. This really brings out the cask profile. I mean, it seems to me like it's almost like first fill bourbon. I know they said ex-bourbon, but man, the butterscotch now too. Geez, this finish has gotten even longer with the water. It just has this really bold flavors. Really bold flavors. A little bit of a cigar ashtray kind of thing at the end, if you're into that. All right, let me catch up on the chat and stop musing about this one. Man, this is a really relaxed, it's like a quiet Titan. You know what I mean? This is like one of those whiskeys that sits on your whiskey shelf that's kind of like, you know, not trying to show off. But when you go for it, you know what you're getting. This is like a relaxed peated whiskey, if that makes any sense to y'all. I'm a fan. If I was going to put let me go through the chat first, and I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking. Swami's got Imperial Stout. Wow. $45 a bottle. Holy shit, man. Dude's not playing. It sounds pretty good. 11.5% too. Yeah. Wow. Top 3 whiskey in 2020, the Smoky 12. Good to know. Coates and Cohen talking. Speaking of wow, where's the whiskey friend, aka the whiskey friend? I don't know. He must be the whiskey fiend. He must have had to tuck himself in a little early tonight over there in Scotland. I don't know. Usually he pops in for a little bit, but I haven't seen him tonight. The nose is bold and nuanced at the same time, if that makes any sense. It's a lot going on. I'm getting some weak peat notes to compare this to. Oh, sure. So yeah, Andrew Page has got some of this in the glass too. Yeah, Andrew, let me know what you thought about kind of what I was spewing about this. I'd be curious if you agreed with me, or maybe there's some stuff that you can add to compliment, or if you think I'm way off. But I generally agree with what you're saying right there. That's exactly the experience I'm having. Oh, man. Dude, let me tell you a story about the solstice. So, yeah, as Gary mentions here, the Benriach 17-year-old solstice was a port and bourbon cask. And it was like, I saw it at this place. They had it on their website. It's like $130. And if anybody here ever has ordered from an international wine shop, you're going to go on your website. You're going to see it. You're going to be like, oh, snap. Like, you don't see this anywhere, especially at that price, and you're going to try to buy it. And then what's going to happen? They're going to email you in 2 days and tell you, sorry, it's on the website, but we don't have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which is really a bummer. I think I've done that twice in the last year because I forgot about it the first time. But yeah, man, I would love to try that. When I saw that, I was like, I tried to jump on it for sure. But you know how it goes. Paul John Brilliance. Not sure where I'm going from here. Ooh, I haven't had the Brilliance yet. I have been. Have you had any of the Christmas editions, the 19 or the 20? I would love to hear if you have. The 20 especially, man. Holy cow. What a great whiskey that is. Daniel still hasn't found any Paul Johns. That's a bummer. No, it's not like Isla at all. It's not the iodine. It's not the rogue tar. But man, this is really damn interesting stuff. You know what it reminds me of? If you ever had a Glengarry 12, in terms of its texture, if the nose, take the peat out of the equation. If this didn't have the peat, this reminds me mostly of like a Glengarry 12. That kind of rich stewed red fruit thing going on. But it's got this extra thing with the peat. And let me tell you, like I was saying, when you put water on this is totally different. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't done a full review of this, but if I was prelim score on this, given the price too, so the value, I take value into consideration when I score things. This is a 4 out of 5. Man, I'm really enjoying this. You know, Benriach is one of those distilleries that kind of flies a bit under the radar. Not everybody knows much about them, but yeah, 4.3754. Yeah, I can mess with this. This is a good one. Not easy to find in Kansas either. Yeah. Have you had any of the Amruts? By the way, did you know that Amrut has a bourbon? Bourbon. Did you know that Amrut has a rum? It's true. I'm going to have it soon. And by the way, folks, y'all, if you're sub to the channel, first of all, yeah, thank you. Secondly, keep your eyes peeled because if you're a rum fan, look for an announcement from another whiskey tuber, maybe in the next week or so, about a collab rum show that we're going to be doing. I'm really looking forward to it. Stay tuned for that. We're finalizing it right now. I'll definitely keep folks in the loop when I have all the deets, but literally looking forward to chatting with another YouTuber about some whiskey tuber, I should say, about some rum. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So keep an eye out for that, y'all. So yeah, here we are, bottom of the hour. We've just been chatting about the Benriach Septendecim, nice Latin word there, peated malt, 17-year-old. Non-chill natural, 46%. Winner. This is a really rich, complex dram. A lot of bourbon notes. With water, without, got a lot more on the sherry side. Nice level of peat just to kind of give another dimension to this. The nose is fantastic on this one. It almost smells like a rum ball. Or a bourbon ball, rather, that you get, holiday treat. Yeah, this is in that 3.75 to 4 range for sure. I'm going to do a full review once I get my bearings on this, but there's a lot happening in this whiskey. And you just don't find 17-year-old whiskeys anymore for $120. Toronto. Really good. Oh, yeah. Amrut Fusion is awesome. Love the Amrut Fusion. In fact, if you were able to tune in, if you're into bourbon, you should definitely sub his channel. He's doing some great stuff. And we were chatting about I basically tried to convince him of 3 non-bourbons that I think he should try. One of which was the one you just mentioned, the Amrut Fusion. And I think he was excited about that one. So we'll see if he dabbles into that. Hey, Trooper, how you doing, man? You out in the Gulf tonight, or are you on land? Always awesome to have you in the house. I did. So funny you bring that up, Cohen. So all of March, I'm going to be doing, it's St. Patty's Day month. So I'm taking a long overdue look at basically a whole bunch of Irish whiskeys. So I'm going to be doing all Irish for the month of March. And one of my reviews will be of the USA exclusive small batch Redbreast. Cohen, happy to share some thoughts with you about it, though. Have you had it yet? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not picking up the thinness much at all on this one. It's like medium. Honestly, I think it's more than that. It's quite actually full mouthfeel for me. It might have to do with that Deanson you were drinking, yeah. Well, Man, starting to get a nice little drying kind of tannic note at the end too, which is just great. It's like dark chocolate. It just gets better and better. Honestly, this is going to sound a little fucking crazy, but if I was going to compare this to an Islay whiskey, just in terms of its flavor profile, this is in the kind of Ardbeg Uigeadail range. And it is not nearly as intense. It's not as, maritime. I wouldn't even say it's as good, but similar in that the smoke and the marriage of the smoke and the sherry and the bourbon together. This is a bit more sherried, but that's one I would compare it to. So yeah, just to give folks a heads up, keep your eyes out for this, man. Benriach 17-year-old Septendecim. This is solid stuff. At the top of the hour, we're going to be continuing a peated, smoky whiskey shows tonight. Telex and I are going to be doing two Lafroigs. Two Lagavulins. We're going to be doing the classic Lagavulin 16. And then in hour number 2, we're going to be doing a real treat. It's an 18-year-old Festival release, which is the Islay Whiskey Festival. We're going to be doing a release from 2018 of that. It's 18 years old. So stay tuned for that. I'll drop the link in the chat, as always, as we get closer to that time. But that's going to be a lot of fun. And I honestly haven't had a Lagavulin 16 in quite some time. Hope everybody can join. By the way, take a second, smash the thumbs up. If you haven't subbed, hit me up with a sub. That'll make sure you don't miss any of those Irish whiskey reviews that I'm bringing out every Friday throughout the month of March. There's some really good ones in there. So if you all are looking to get into Irish whiskey, I got a couple that I've reviewed that I think are really strong recommendations for your next Irish whiskey purchase. So appreciate the support, everybody, as always. Silverlock, what's going on in the Windy City? Windy City land, I should say. Good to see you, bud. How was your weekend? What else we got going on? I'm way behind. I'm sorry, folks. Let me kind of catch up. Hey, there's Ben Demon Hunter. How you doing? Good to see you. Ernie Moss was the intensely peated. Was insane. Oh, yeah. You were hanging out for a little birthday celebration stuff over the weekend. Is that right, Ben? I know that you were talking about that Port Charlotte. Daniel said, how much about this Septendecim Benriach? This was like $120. I've actually seen it cheaper, like 115 even. Which, man, that's a freaking steal if you ask me. What did you pay? He got mine for 100. Wow, 90. Damn, I overpaid. Andrew Page, you might be able to find this around $100. If that's the case, man, buy it right away. That's insane. Hello, Chicago and India. Back at you in Calgary, Ben. Whiskey Throttle. Hey, buddy, how are you? Is that thumbprint on your lens? I don't know. Is it coming? Does something look messed up? I can definitely try wiping this off, though. I don't know if that fixes anything. So sorry, folks. Thanks, Throttle. How are you, buddy? In case anybody didn't catch it, Throttle and I did a little live show over the weekend. Or what was it, last Friday, Thursday, something? Talking a little about Japanese whiskey. We talked about Donnie Darko. If you're a big fan of that movie, check it out. It's posted up there. Hey, there's Bourbon Bounty. Speaking of, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping through. He says he'll dabble. Oh, so you're okay. So you're talking about the which one were we doing? The Amrut Fusion. Yes, dabble indeed, sir. You won't be disappointed. Man, this is just getting better and better. I think this pushes the 4. Again, preliminary, but man, wow. So rich, a lot of depth. And I feel like there's just so much to pick out of this, man. This is going to be so much fun to explore over the coming months. I'll go back neat. I haven't opened the red breast yet. Oh, you're talking about the cast strength small. Yeah. I totally grabbed a few, man. Well, let me just put it to you this way. I'm not super sure what I think about it. It was good. I mean, but I don't see why I would buy that over the 12 cast strength. And the 12 cast strength is cheaper. So for what it's worth, that's kind of the experience I had with it. You're going to want the Ben Romeo too, buddy. I picked up the Belmead cast strength today. Oh, yeah, that's right. Daniel, you joined that show. That's awesome. Talking at top. Oh, you're talking about this Benriach? Yeah. This is worth a buy for sure. I have a review of the Middleton Derrick Tree 4 St. Patty's Day. Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out for sure. I have not had a Middleton yet. Yeah. Well, I said if I was going to compare this to like another like a peated, like a more heavily peated Scotch, I would say this is closer to Ugadal in terms of its kind of delivery and flavor profile. By no means are we talking this is Oogie level, but this is no slouch, man. This is a really cracker of a whiskey. Where the Ugadal is really assertive, this one is much more relaxed. Again, if you've ever had a Glengaddy 12, and you remember how just kind of rich and mouth coating and the marriage of the dark stewed fruits, the prune, the raisin, the way that whiskey just kind of like covers the palate, and you're left with those dark purple fruit notes. I get a ton of that off of this, but then add a nice layer of peat and a bit of the bourbon notes. But in general, that's one that's very similar in terms of its style. So the Oogie, where the Oogie is really intense and bold and in your face, this is, I mean, it's certainly a bold whiskey, but it's nothing as aggressive as that. This one's a bit more chill, but it is really good. And I would recommend it for sure. Trooper. Be fun to compare Belmead range. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, Bourbon Bounty and I do a couple shows periodically. Definitely encourage folks to check it out if you haven't yet. I think it should be posted up somewhere. And I'm way behind in the chat. Not a surprise. Oh my God, Aqualung too? Jeez. What whiskey would you do to celebrate Jethro Tull's Aqualung? There's a good question. Too funny. Yes, it's great. Probably. Gotta love Throttle. Yeah, you're right, Greg. I mean, I'm really impressed with this. I also have like a single cask from 1994. It's like a 20-something-year-old, like peated Benriach that I'm going to open up sometime soon. But I wanted to do this one kind of first, and I'll probably open that one up maybe this week just to compare. Benriach is one that I have not had a ton of experience with, and so this has been kind of an exploration, you know. So it makes the journey so fun. I'm going to top this off, to be honest. This is in my wheelhouse. You know, another whiskey that I might compare this to is the Kilchoman Saneg. It's obviously much older. But again, in terms of the profile, this is much richer, but it's got kind of that same thing going on. Oh man, I do too. I have not seen the blue spot anywhere yet around here. The more you drink, the higher the score. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting steady. I'm in the 3.75 to 4 range on this one. I don't know. I don't think I can go much higher than that. But again, this is preliminary. I never really do a full score review on bottle uncorkings because I do think oxygen plays an important role in getting some of these getting down to their essence. But we'll see. What he said. I've been seeing them on secondary market. People are selling them for like $300, which I will not pay for that, but I'm sure it's great. Welsh Toro, always good to see you. Cheers from the US to the UK. Thinks the Septendecim is discontinued now. All the more reason to go grab yourself a bottle of this, y'all. Port Charlotte 10 is your favorite Isla, minus the Lefroy 10 cast strength, of course. Yeah, I like the of course. I like the Port Charlotte a lot. I mean, it has that unmistakable Bruichladdich kind of like sweet, fresh cut hay barn note, which I really enjoy. I slightly prefer the Ardbeg 10 over it, but it's here nor there, really. Lefroy 10, I think I would choose it over the Lefroy 10, though. But yeah, you really can't go wrong with the Port Charlotte 10. Or really, I'm not sure what you can go wrong with from Bruichladdich. Throttle just got his hands on the Benriach peated cast strength batch 1. Oh, shit. I didn't even know that existed. Good to know. Mike Meyer. What's up, man? Happy Tuesday, buddy. Always great to have you in the house. You and your Appetite for Destruction avatar. Which I totally love. Probably. Wouldn't be surprised. Toro's in the house. Yes, he is. Toro hops in every once in a while on Tuesdays, which is awesome, man. He always brings the good conversation. Unlike you, Throttle. Just kidding. Anyways, yeah, folks who Throttle and I actually did a little live show. We were talking about Japanese whiskey. If you want to listen to the connection between Tomatin Distillery and Donnie Darko, if you want to learn what that connection is, go back and check out the Friday live show of Japanese Whiskeys with Whiskey Throttle, and you'll learn all about it. Just picked up the Lag 16. Haven't had it in a long time, but I had a sample of Scotch Advent Calendar. My new favorite, 43% Scotch. Okay. I haven't had a Lag 16 in a couple of years, so I'm really looking forward to trying it in, it'll be about 20 minutes from now, so that's going to be awesome. Really? What's the word on it, man? Yes? Worth the hype? I mean, I can't imagine it's not. My favorite of the spot range, putting aside those like fancy wine finished green spots, is the yellow spot. I think I go yellow spot, red, then green. But I like the green quite a bit. It's just a bit light. This one I got to imagine is going to go toe-to-toe with the best ones. Some folks saying hi to each other. You have a 16. Benriach has a lot of stuff out there, though. Might have to hunt a bit for it. Maher's got to head off, man. Have a good Wednesday, buddy. It is early in the morning. Always appreciate you stopping in, man. Slancha. Cheers. Let me know how that Buffalo Trace treats you when you grab that bottle. We are graced with your presence as always, Bourbon Bounty. Cheers, man. Great to have you in the house. You would spend your quality time with a bunch of schmucks like these folks and myself. Always good to have you in the house, bud. Ben D. Do I try another Ardbeg or just get what I already know I like? Corey, Anno, 10, Wee Beastie. Haven't had any of those. Try the Corey for sure, and the 10. I think you can skip the Anno and the Wee Beastie, to be honest. That's just my opinion. But the 10 and the Ugadal and the Corey Vrecken are like the Ardbegs that I think are worth your time. Personally, I think the Ugadal is my favorite, maybe one of my favorite whiskeys ever. But the 10 is a great everyday go-to peated dram. You really can't go wrong with it. The Corey Vrecken is a total monster. It is, I think how did I describe it? It's like a bunch of hornets attacking your tongue. Like, it is so freaking intense, but you will love it. Yeah, check out the Corey and the 10. The Anno is, it's fine, and the Wee Beastie, I think, you're not missing anything with either of those. Couldn't go wrong with any of the Isla 10s. Yeah. Well, does Bowmore put out a 10? You could probably skip that one. If you like that Septendecim 17 and I can't get it, you should look at the old Ballantron range. Good mainland peat bottle. Oh, I've never even heard of that, ma'am. I will, though. Have you had the 17 Septendecim? Yeah. Right. I mean, I agree with you on that. Corey, 10, Ugadal. And then, I mean, if you can, and I've not had any of the heavy 20-year-old ones, but you can get them. I can't imagine that they will disappoint you. If you really like, I would avoid most of the limited releases they do every year, unless you can get the committee release. If you can get a committee release of the black, I don't know, the prices are going to be too crazy. It's probably not worth it. So I would stick to those three. And then if you really love Ardbeg after those three, you can, overpay for some one of their fancy limited release bottlings. But I don't think any of the limited releases they've put out are better than the Corey or the Ugadal, at least in the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm with Mike on that. Yeah, I know the feeling, man. Ugadal was a transformative moment for me when I had it. I remember distinctly, it was like a New Year's party, and I was just like, whoa, I didn't realize peated Scotch could be this good. It's fantastic stuff, man. And honestly, it's held up. I mean, I've never had some of the, when it first came out, some of those early bottlings of it, which a lot of folks attest are amazing. But I'll tell you, I had one 4 or 5 years ago, and then I had a 2021, which I just did a review on a couple weeks ago, and I didn't really detect much difference. I mean, they're still really stellar, really stellar. I can't recommend Ugadal enough, man. It's killer. I think it beats pretty much any Isla whiskey under $100, except maybe Lafroig 10 cask strength, depending on the batch. But that's just me. Yeah, man. Everybody loves the frickin' Oogie. Yeah, bro. Mike, you know what's up, man. Yeah, it was. I had had like a Lafroig quarter cask, a Tasker 10, Lafroig 10, and I think I had an Ardbeg 10, which I still love, but I was like, yeah, I was at this New Year's party, man. And this cat had a bunch of scotch in his bar, and he had the Ugadal, and I'd only seen it. I didn't even know what to expect out of it. And I remember sipping that, and dude, I swear, I drank it. This was New Year's Eve 2016, 2017. I remember just talking to people, people would want to chat, and I'm like, yeah, I know you want to talk about some stuff, but have you had this? This stuff is fucking unbelievable. Yeah, man. The other thing I'll tell you about Oogie, if you ever get it, if you're a meat eater and you like a good steak, pour a glass of Ugadal with your steak. It is euphoria, complete euphoria. I need to stick up for the poor wee beastie. I like it better than the 10, probably due to palate fatigue with Ardbeg. I mean, it is a different whiskey, but for somebody who's just getting into it, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't wowed by the wee beastie, but for me, I would probably just pay the extra $5 to $10 for the 10. But I can totally hear your point. I mean, it's a bit more fresh and lively, and it definitely has a uniqueness to it. And kudos for them for putting it out at 47 some percent. They put it out with an age statement. Props to that. Yeah, exactly, man. And that barbecue, that unmistakable kind of sweet Carolina barbecue note that you get off the Ugadal. One of the best $80 you can spend, unless you're in California, which Cohen just mentioned. Yeah, dude. That's when I lived in DC, man. They're super liberal with their shipping laws, bro. I bought 4 bottles before I moved to Philly because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what to do with it. I was like, man, I got to make sure I get a bunch because I might never be able to find it again. I was way into it, and I'm still glad that I did it. He says, yeah, I got a couple bottles of the Septendecim a few years ago. Enjoyed them. Benriach, we're doing really good stuff if you go. Yeah. I don't know about, I've heard differing opinions on what's going on with them now. Another reason I should move to Cali. Stay tuned. It may happen. LA. It's LA or Chicago, man, in the next 6 months. One of the two. My time in Philly will come to a close. Yo. I don't know what you think about heavily peated scotch, man, but I'm telling you, $80 to $90, get yourself a bottle of Ardbeg Ugadal. Don't even drink it. Don't even try it until you grill yourself up a nice steak, man. I'm telling you, it is one of the most euphoric meal moments I've had. And I'm just being totally legit true about that. It's not just because I love that whiskey. The way that, especially if you put some nice dried thyme on that, on the steak, or rosemary, whatever the one is, with some garlic, dude, that Ugadal, it's a moment. It's a moment. You'll never regret it. I agree with the oogie and steak, but hear me out. Oogie and peppered swordfish. Look at this guy getting all peppered swordfish with it, huh? All right. I can get down with that. Basically anything that's got some kind of sharp, earthy flavors, some savories, man, the Ugadal is just going to be your jam. Peppered swordfish. All right. Next time that happens, I'm on it. Coach says, I will die on the Team 10 hill. Such a superbly crafted whiskey, pitch perfect, if not super complex. I can't disagree with you on that. The 10 is my go-to. DC is the best spot in the U.S. to buy. It is, as long as you're not buying it, for the most part, in DC. It has the best shipping laws, man. That's for sure. That is for sure. Before I left DC, man, I built my liquor collection when I first kind of got into this on having stuff shipped to me when I lived in Washington, DC. And I was mostly from California liquor stores. because California liquor stores are this. You can't go wrong. They're the best place to buy stuff. K&L, High Times, which I actually visited when I was out in LA last November. Third Base Wine and Spirits, Malibu Spirits, Mission Wine and Spirits, man. Oaks Liquors. Dude, California, and their prices are just fantastic. Can't go wrong. Most people have to got it. Appreciate you, Andrew. Andrew's like, I ain't dropping down from this. Andrew's got his opinion. I like it. Bro, if you're in Chicago, you have to try Gino's East Deep Dish. Hey, man, I know all about that. Let me tell you. First of all, you're absolutely right. They got that cornbread, that like cornmeal crust. I'm from Milwaukee. I grew up in Milwaukee, and so spent a lot of time in Chicago. It is probably my favorite city in America. It's totally my wheelhouse. And yeah, I do love me some Chicago deep dish. I know some people like to hate on it, but yeah, man, I'm with you. Gino's East and Pequods. Did you do Pequods when you were up there? Man, can't go wrong with that. There you go. Yeah, rosemary and butter, man. You know what's up. Get yourself a bottle of Oogie. Coates is a fan of the Swordfish too. Your LA women. It's here, the 50th anniversary of that album. Another 50th anniversary. All right, Cohen's convincing me, man. Yeah, I've been starting to look at some spots in Angelino Hills, Silver Lake area. You know, we'll see. I like maybe a year out in LA before I go to Chicago. We'll see. Yeah, no, not at night. I would go to a Sox game before I go to a Cubs game, man. Believe me. I mean, I'm a Brewers fan, so you know, I got my animosity towards the Chicago Cubs. Too fucking funny, man. Anyways, man, so we're almost in Telex Watch Hour. I will drop the link in the chat. Again, major props for the Benriach Septendecim 17. This is an awesome medium-peated whiskey. I really encourage folks to hunt this down. It's at a stupidly good price. It's rich. It's delicious. Can't go wrong. I hope folks can hang out. Once Telex is live, we are going to be doing a Lagavulin show tonight. Lagavulin 16, the classic. Can't go wrong with the Lagavulin 16. And then in the second hour, we're going to be doing a special kind of really rare release from Lagavulin, only put out for the Festival Festival, which is a festival every year on Isla. It is a 18-year-old Lagavulin from 2018. So we got two pretty rad Lagavulins coming up for y'all tonight. If you can't hang out tonight, all good. Do give me the thumbs up though. I appreciate that. If you haven't subbed, of course, I'd love that too. Like I said, I'm doing all Irish whiskeys in the month of March. I got 4 really good ones that I put reviews together for that I'm really excited to share with everybody. I think there's some fun ones. I've been really getting into Irish whiskey. So if you're interested in Irish, check it out. Well, Mike's from Chicago. Oh, yeah. There you go, man. I'm from Milwaukee, so up. Screw you, Chicago people. Stop coming up into Wisconsin and driving like crazy. We're your little sister, you know. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Jason. Oh, nice. Oh, we got the second half. Top Shelf Dustin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping through. Used to make it to Chicago every year, but I love, yeah, Chicago's probably my, like I said, it's probably my favorite city in the U.S. So I'm going to be moving there or to Los Angeles by no later than September. We'll see how that goes. All right, let me do a quick Telex check because we got to be getting darn close to Telex time. All right, here's the link. The link is up. I'll drop this in the chat. We'll be migrating over there to talk about Lagavulin. Again, appreciate you all for hanging out, man. It's always so much fun here on Tasty Tuesday, kicking things off with happy hour. I am going to hang out for a few more minutes until it looks like Telex is live and ready. But that is the link. And like I said, we're doing Lagavulin 16 and a 2018 Fessio release, Lagavulin 18. That should be rad. Yeah, Silverlock, I figured you loved it. I had an idea, considering you're in Chicagoland. I think Top Shelf Whiskey has one of those. He calls it his daily. Are you talking about the Benriach? There you go. Yeah, get your heavily peated malts out, y'all. We're gonna be getting after it. Mike. Oh, dude. Oh man. Yo. Y'all just need to chill, man. It's not everything is in such a hurry. Oh man, you're cracking me up. All right, y'all. Telex is live. We're gonna head on over. Again, smash that thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate that. And if you haven't, feel free to subscribe. All Irish whiskey reviews coming out in the month of March. I got a really, really good one to kick things off this week. So that'll drop Friday, man. Appreciate y'all, everybody. Stay safe, be well, wear a mask, don't get COVID, so we can continue to drink good whiskey. I'll catch you either next week or over on Telex's show. So, lunch, everybody.